What's up, everybody? Today I'm back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about the NBA playoffs. What are my predictions? What do I think is going to happen? Who's going to win each individual series this round? Let's get into it. It's going to be a good video today. Let's do it.
Then it would be missing. The flow is distracted, that's cataclysmic. You offer the hook, we never was fishing. I live in the present, I am so gifted. How are you raining? Cause you are not water. The steam it be coming, I must be a sauna. Peculiar flow make me sound like a born, and I'm always on point like I'm turning a corner.
Okay, in order to best do these picks and really be able to talk about each series and have a good video, I'm just going to go through my predictions for the first round of the playoffs. So I'm going to pick each series, how many games I think it's going to go, some notable stars that are going to play, be a big factor, what I think is going to happen. Okay, so let's start in the West first, and I'll go 1-8, 2-7, 3-6, 4-5. So we'll make it easy. All right, the 1-8 seed, Jazz Grizzlies. So if you guys know, last night the Grizzlies took game 1, so they're up 1-0, but Donovan Mitchell still hasn't played. And I think that's pretty much huge. The biggest factor in that series is whether or not Donovan Mitchell is playing and whether or not he's healthy. I think that by the end, by at least game 3, he'll be healthy and back to his normal self. Game 2 might be an adjustment game, but I think the Jazz will end up taking that series, and I'm going to say 6 games. And even if Donovan Mitchell doesn't come back all the way healthy, I think his presence alone will bring them the win in that series. So I got Jazz in 6 for that series. All right, now we got an interesting one. Suns-Lakers, the 2 and the 7 seed. Now, I want to say that I think the Suns are going to win. So the Suns took game 1, right? The only problem is Chris Paul had a little bit of a shoulder injury, and he didn't really look like his main self. And we also know that the Lakers just love to lose that first game. LeBron calls it a feel-out game. The first game of each series, he did it last year. He lost game 1 to Portland, right? Game 1 of the Rockets. So you really don't know how the Lakers are. And again, last year, Anthony Davis, game 1 against Trailblazers, didn't play that well. Game 1 against the Rockets, PJ Tucker shut him down. So I think that there's a lot to know about the series, and I can't really tell you what is going to happen, but my prediction is I'm going to go Suns in 7. And I'm going to say the Suns win in 7 because Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton are looking really good in their first playoff appearance, and I think that the Chris Paul injury might not be that bad, and I think that as long as Chris Paul is healthy and playing well, if he can stay healthy through the whole series and they all stay healthy, I think the Suns are going to take it in 7 games. So that's my prediction. I got the Suns in 7. The next game is, what do we got here? Oh, it's Nuggets Blazers. For this series, it's really tough because Jamal Murray's out, which makes this really tough for the Nuggets to take a victory in a series that they would usually win. I think with Jamal Murray that the Nuggets take this in, I'd say 5 or 6 games, maybe 6 just because Damian Lillard is so good. But because he's not, even though Michael Porter Jr. is really becoming a standout talent, I'm going to give the series to Blazers in 7. Blazers in 7. And I'm not going to say 6 or 5 because Jokic is amazing, and they don't really have anyone to stop Jokic. And Michael Porter Jr. he's gonna play out of his mind this series, but I don't think that they can get past Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. And Carmelo Anthony is playing well, so I got Blazers in 7. Last series, we got Clippers, Mavericks, and this is one of the most interesting series too. Mavericks took game 1 against the Clippers. Man, this one is a tough one to choose. Kristaps Porzingis isn't his usual self that he was last year. If you remember the playoffs last year when the Clippers were playing the Mavericks, Kristaps Porzingis was playing out of his mind, and then he got hurt. And that's really one of the reasons that the Mavericks lost that series. But he was way better last year than he is this year. He's been hurt all year. And I think that Kawhi and Paul George are going to be able to come out and win this series. They also have Rondo now, which is a big deal. So I'm actually going to give it to the Clippers. All right, now in the Eastern Conference. The 1-8 matchup, this is where it starts to get really, really interesting, is we got Sixers-Wizards. And Sixers took game 1, but it wasn't like an easy victory, and it was a close game. The Wizards have a lot of heart, and they can score in a hurry. The only problem is they can't guard Embiid. They can't guard Ben Simmons. They can't guard Tobias Harris. Obviously, Tobias Harris has been killing people. And I think Tobias Harris is the reason that the Sixers are going to win this series. I'm not going to say 5 or 4 because I think that Russell Westbrook will give him a game or two, and Bradley Beal will always stand out. So I think I'm going to say Sixers in 6 games. For the next game, we have Nets-Celtics. For Nets-Celtics, I think that this is a series where the Celtics really don't have any chance. I think that I'm going to say Game 3, that Jason Tatum will drop 45, Kemba will have 30, and I think they'll win Game 3 in Boston. But other than that, I think it's going to be a 5-game series, and there's not going to be much heard from it. So I got Nets in 5 in that series. The next series is Bucks-Heat. Bucks-Heat, this is definitely the best series in the playoffs right now, the most down to the wire. Last year, the Heat took them down in 5 games, which was insane. And I think, you know what, I think I'm going to go Heat in 7 games this series. They lost Game 1. Middleton hit a game winner. That was a great game winner. But if you watch the game, at the end of the game before overtime, Giannis could not make a free throw. He consistently missed free throws. He couldn't come down at the end of the games because it's just not the same as the regular season. And I honestly think that I'm a coach on the Bucks roster. End of the game, when we're going down late free throw shooting, I'm taking Giannis out of the game because he didn't play like an MVP candidate. He didn't even play like an all-star. He wasn't playing that well at the end of the game. He's great in the middle of the game throughout, great in the regular season. But if the Bucks want to win this series, I think they have to seriously consider his minutes towards the end of the game if he consistently misses free throws at the end of the game. So I got Heat in 7. Oh, and last but not least, we got Hawks-Knicks. And this is a great series. At the beginning, I was thinking that I wanted the Knicks to come out in 7 games. But I think that I'm going to go Knicks in 6, only because Trae Young, they won that first game. He was talking that trash, right? So I'm going to go Hawks in 6 because I think the Knicks are going to come back and back it up. I think they're going to come back and make Trae Young actually be quiet this time. And I think they're going to win Game 2 and Game 3. I think the Hawks will take Game 4, and the Knicks will take 5 and 6 to win the series in 6 games. And that is it for today's video. Let me know what you think about my picks. You can put your picks down below. Who do you think is going to win? How many games? What picks am I absolutely insane about? And yeah, have a great day.